Welcome back to Touring History, everybody. The podcast where we turn calendar pages into entertainment, according to some, and occasionally we learn something by accident. I'm Lane.
And I'm accident. I'm Dave. And before we dive into a day that gave us everything from Queen Victoria to dun Jaws, we need to talk about Randy's Donuts.
Oh, are we starting with the important stuff today?
Well, Lane, when you're about to discuss the French Revolution, movie sharks, and Lizzie Borden's acquittal in an all-one episode, you need proper sustenance. Yes, when you're dealing with axe murderers, Randy's Donuts has been providing that to Los Angeles for over 7 decades.
That giant donut sign isn't just advertising, it's a promise, Dave. Inside, you'll find donuts perfected through generations of bakers who take their craft seriously.
And inside those donuts, you'll find cream-filled jelly goodness. Check them out at randysdonuts.com because when you're learning about history's most dramatic moments, hell, you deserve snacks that are equally dramatic, damn it.
I agree. And speaking of dramatic, today is June 20th, Revolutionary France to movie sharks. What? I don't understand that. Do you, Dave?
Yes, of course. Revolutionary France to movie sharks with
royal succession. From one to the other?
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
With royal succession and axe murder trials thrown in for good measure. Because everybody loves a good axe murder.
No, Lane, don't lose your head over this. Let's start with birthdays, because June 20th produced some seriously talented people. Present company accepted. Brian Wilson turns 83 today.
And would have.
That's true. Didn't quite read the obits this week, did we? The mastermind behind the Beach Boys, who proved pop music could be as complex as classical music and involve pet sounds.
Pet sounds alone makes him a genius.
That's right.
Plus Lionel Richie's 75.
All night long.
Nicole Kidman's 58. And John Goodman's 73.
Ah, John Goodman. Loved him in that bowling movie. And representing Gen Z, we've got 17-year-old TikTok star Ava Wood and 18-year-old rapper Ndespot-A-Lot.
And Dot Spin-A-Lot?
Yeah, that's him.
I love that we're living in an era where teenagers can build global audiences from their bedrooms. Although I feel ancient when there are famous people younger than my t-shirts.
Yeah, I feel ancient too. But that's another story. June 20th, 1782, the U.S. Congress adopts the Great Seal. Oh, no, that's not
Not that seal, Dave.
Sorry. That's the eagle and pyramid on the back of the dollar bill seal.
Right. This took them 6 years to figure out. 3 different committees, and they kept rejecting designs. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey as the national bird.
I mean, seriously. 6 years to think of an eagle and pyramid? Should have just gone with the turkey. Can you imagine In God We Trust with a turkey underneath? The eagle holds 13 arrows in an olive branch, but cleverly, the head faces toward the olive branch. Peace over war. Now, if it were a turkey, it'd be holding stuffing and cranberry sauce.
Yeah, and the crazy uncle behind him. The reverse side with the pyramid and eye says, Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. The founding fathers were announcing America would change everything, and we seem to keep doing that.
Yeah, I think that means Latin rinse and repeat, though, doesn't it? And they weren't wrong, though I'm not sure they anticipated their symbols ending up with conspiracy theory websites.
Yeah. Let's go on.
The evil eye.
Yes. Let's head to 1789, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
On June 20th, 1789, that brings us to the tennis court oath. Basically the moment the French Revolution became inevitable.
And she stepped on the ball. The third estate got locked out of their meeting place. What happened to the first and second estate? And said, fine, we'll meet at the tennis court and overthrow the entire social order.
Peak French drama. They swore never to separate until France had a proper constitution. Standing in a tennis court, making promises that would lead to the guillotine.
That's right. You got your head cut off if you were not wearing whites. It's such a perfect example of how revolutions work. You start with, we want representation. And before you know it, you're chopping off the king's head. Oops. No kings.
Heavy weighs the crown, right?
Yes. From there, we go to West Virginia. Mountain
Okay, that sounds good.
Mama, Shenandoah River. June 20th, 1863, West Virginia becomes the 35th state. Basically said, listen, Virginia seceding from the Union. Well, we're seceding from Virginia. We're going west.
The mountain folks never felt they had much in common with Eastern Virginia plantation owners anyway. When Virginia joined the Confederacy, Western counties were like, nope, we're staying with the Union.
That's right. They were looking east going, you guys are such snooties. We got coal. Well, we all know how that ended up. And what's legally fascinating is that you can't create a new state without permission. But Virginia, being Virginia, had technically left the United States. So, loophole.
Like a really complicated divorce when someone claims the house because the other person moved out first.
That's right. I saw your feet leave the house. It's mine.
Mine now. All right, let's go to 1837, where Princess Victoria becomes queen at age 18. They woke her up
Whoa.
at 6 a.m. to tell her she was now the most powerful woman in the world.
Yeah, it's like, hey, get up. Get up. You queen. Come on. Get to the throne.
You got to run the world now.
Come on. 18 years old. Can you imagine? She ruled for 63 years and basically defined what we think of as the 19th century.
Young Victoria was much more fun than the stern queen we picture. She loved dancing and parties before marrying Prince Albert turned her serious.
That's right, Prince Albert in a can. During her reign, Britain controlled about a quarter of the world's land and population. This teen who got unexpected news became the template for modern constitutional monarchy. Ho, ho, ho. Think she had
Wow.
a few temper tantrums over certain countries?
Probably. Let's
Yeah.
go more recently with 2002, Dave.
Atkins versus Virginia, Lane.
Oh, I remember that every June 20th. Absolutely.
I
Can you
know.
remind everyone else what Atkins versus Virginia is?
But of course, the Supreme Court rules that executing people with intellectual disabilities is unconstitutional. Well, that saved me.
A 6-3 decision saying you can't execute someone who can't fully understand the consequences. The court pointed to evolving standards of decency, constitutional interpretation changing as society's moral understanding develops.
Huh, I don't understand any of that. It's a good thing I'm still here. What made it complicated was defining intellectual disability legally. The principle seems obvious, but the details are incredibly complex. Like I said, I'm not a mathlete.
Now for advertising history. June 20th, 1898, the Ritz Paris opens, basically
Ooh.
inventing modern luxury hospitality branding. Ooh.
That's right. Cesar Ritz created the concept of luxury service every fancy hotel copies today. Private bathrooms, electric lighting in every room. And in 1898, that was like having a spaceship.
And June 20th, 1996, the Interactive Advertising Bureau releases its first digital ad revenue report, $37 million for the first half of 1996.
When most people were figuring out email. Someone's already tracking internet ad money. That's 37 million was the beginning of a $1 trillion industry. Wow.
Speaking
Yeah,
of advertising that works,
Yes.
let's talk about Randy's Donuts. The
Yay.
most honest advertising ever. You see that giant donut sign, you know exactly what you're getting.
Well, no complicated algorithms, just massive donut that says, we made donuts, good ones. That's brand consistency digital marketers can only dream about.
Classic glazed perfection, innovative specialty flavors, and 24-hour availability. While other brands chase viral moments, Randy's just focuses on being excellent at the one thing they do.
Yeah, so chase on down to Randy's and check them out at randysdonuts.com, where the marketing strategy is simple. Make great donuts, put up a giant sign, and watch people come back forever. Easy peasy.
Step 3, profit.
Profit. Step 4, have advertising on our show.
Speaking of really hungry people or
Dun,
things,
Dun, 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 dun. June 20th, 1975. Jaws premieres, and Steven Spielberg basically invents the summer blockbuster.
before Jaws, studios dumped bad movies in the summer. Spielberg took a B movie concept and created sophisticated filmmaking that scared the hell out of everyone.
Oh boy, is that an understatement, Lane. What's genius is you barely see the shark. The thing kept breaking down. So Spielberg created suspense with music and suggestion, and John Williams' score is basically half the movie.
It made 260 million domestically, proving genre movies could appeal to everyone. But it also destroyed the ocean for a generation. Beach attendance dropped significantly.
Yeah, it really invented the blockbuster, too. I mean, Spielberg, it made him a household name at the same time, at 27 years old. Although the real victims were sharks. Populations never recovered from the hunting that followed. Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
lawyers, they're fitted with dorsal fins.
I mean, it's impressive to become a household name at 27, but that's no Queen Victoria at 18. With a
No,
quarter
very
of the world
true.
under your power.
Yeah, take that, Steve.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah. What
Nice,
happened with.
nice fish movie, Steve.
Yeah, how about me? I control the world.
Oh, we got to your favorite point now, Dave. June 20th,
Yes.
1893. Lizzie Borden is acquitted in the famous axe murders. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. Except
Well,
it was actually like 10
sorry.
or 11, but who's counting?
Yes, and then what she had done, she gave her mother 41. And the case violated every Victorian assumption about women. Oh, they're so calm. They're so, a proper middle class lady doesn't hack her parents to death with an axe.
It's not quite proper.
That's right.
Lizzie had motive, inheritance worries, but evidence was circumstantial. Her story kept changing, but the prosecution couldn't prove she did it.
That's right. She kept going back and forth like the axe. After the trial, she inherited the money, bought a mansion, lived comfortably, and opened her own hardware store. Guess what she sold? No, I'm kidding. Never married, never left town, and never explained what happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh.
And let's be honest, if you had to bet money on who killed them, you'd probably bet on Lizzie.
Yeah, except I wouldn't go near her house.
No.
Strange thing was, her hedges were never clipped.
Hmm.
Finally, June 20th, 1992, German parliament votes to move the capital from Bonn back to Berlin, Germany saying, "We're really unified now, huh?" Yeah.
Yeah, it was an incredibly close vote, 338 to 320. Bonn supporters worried Berlin carried too much historical baggage. Nazis, division, Cold War.
That stuff. What's the big deal? I mean, but Berlin was the historic capital and geographically central. The move took years, rebuilding the Reichstag, new government buildings, convincing bureaucrats to leave comfortable Bonn. I've got to go to Berlin? Oh.
And now Berlin's this vibrant, cosmopolitan capital. It's hard to imagine German politics being centered anywhere else.
It's true. Can you imagine if it were centered in Cleveland? That would really be a commute. So, anyway, there you have it. June 20th, from French revolutionaries in tennis courts to German parliamentarians voting on capitals. Very exciting stuff today, with movie sharks and royal succession in between. Wow.
Yeah, what strikes me is how many dramatic decisions changed everything. Sometimes mundane stuff like tracking digital ads reshapes civilization, while sensational trials like Lizzie Borden become footnotes.
It's true. Speaking of consistency, Randy's Donuts has been reshaping donut expectations since 1952. Check them out at randysdonuts.com, the center of consistency.
Yes, do that. And thanks for joining us. We'll be back next time with more historical coincidences and probably more food tangents.
Ooh, I hope so, Lane. Until then, I'm Dave.
And I'm Tangent Lane, reminding you that history is just making decisions about sharks, tennis courts, and very large donuts.
That's right. Now go sharpen your axe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.